This year, more than 3,000 people in the greater Baton Rouge area will hear the words, "You have cancer."
In November of 1999, right before Thanksgiving, Lainey, who's 8 now, was my 6-month-old baby. She was diagnosed with neuroblastoma, cancer.
She was to have a biopsy of 3 of the 19 lumps that she had on her body. And when the doctor came out, I asked her, "How many did you take out?" And she goes, "Well, I did 3," and then she began to cry. And that is when she said that it was malignant and that it was cancer, and I hit the floor.
I retired January 1st, 2003. And in October, which is, say, 10 months later, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So 10 months into my retirement, that's what I faced.
In August of '93, my 13-year-old daughter was diagnosed with an inoperable brainstem tumor.
Right near the Christmas holiday, she started losing some use in her left side. I called her doctor to see what I could do, and she referred me to cancer services, and they lent us a walker and a wheelchair.
You could not get to the tumor, so she had 9 months. It's not a long time, but you realize there are things that you can kind of put closure to. You have time to make plans and arrangements to let people know how you feel.
I would say a couple months, we just really weren't listening. And right after Lainey finished her 6 months of treatment, they had a guest speaker come and speak to a pediatric oncologist. And I knew that I wanted to come and find out more about cancer. After Lainey had finished treatment, when she was going through it, we were just going through the motions. We were doing what we needed to do. After her treatment, I was ready to learn. And that's when I came to Cancer Services.
Cancer touches every life. It affects the body, the mind, and the spirit. Through cancer treatment, there is hope. Through Cancer Services, there is help. Since 1959, Cancer Services of Greater Baton Rouge has been an invaluable resource to our 10-parish service area, providing programs and services free of charge to those living with, through, and beyond cancer.
The resources there are just phenomenal. You don't think about all the stuff that you might need.
They can plug you into counseling first and foremost, plus they can get you any of the special needs you may have or plug you to the people that you need to see.
There were wigs there. There's a wig room. If you needed literature, if you wanted a support group.
Everybody needs support. And when you have people that are in the same condition that you are in, going through the same problems or trials and tribulation, it's sort of refreshing to talk to other people saying, well, you know, it's not just me.
They take care of the family. It's not just the cancer patient. It's not just the parents. It's everybody. My son and I got involved in camp care. It was something that we always talked about doing. It's for the children with cancer and their siblings.
It is a week packed full of fun activities for them. They go fishing, they go bowling, they go to the movies. So just all of those things that may seem little to us are huge for kids.
When you walk in the door, everybody is positive and upbeat. Well, they're in that type of atmosphere and they're doing that, so you have to be focused on people with cancer. And so when you walk in the door, I mean, I never felt out of place or what. And people in the support group are very nice. I would say that I felt like I'm part of a family.
The first person that introduced herself was a lady, and she says, "My name is so-and-so. My daughter is 18 years old. She's just graduated, fixing to go to college, and she was diagnosed with the type of cancer when she was a baby." And I started crying. Lainey had just finished treatment, and she was a year old. It was hard to think 17 years later that I could be that person. And at that moment, I said, that's who I want to be for other people. I want to be there for someone, to give someone hope 17 years later.
I was fortunate enough that I had support. I had family. All of our families here. I have a wonderful husband of 30 years. There are people that have no one, and those are the people that I can't imagine not having anybody to go through this with. Cancer Services has volunteers. They have staff. There's somebody for you. You don't have to do it alone. There's somebody to help you and to help you with your whatever you need. You just call and say, I need this, and they're there.
We are committed to providing all of these programs and services free of charge. But in order to keep our commitment, we need yours. Your annual gift will allow us to continue helping cancer patients where they need help most.
All of us are touched by cancer, our neighbors, friends, and family. As your governor, I feel we are so fortunate to have Cancer Services of Greater Baton Rouge right here in our own community. In fact, Cancer Services is the only community-based agency right here in our hometown committed solely to improving life and empowering lives of those living with cancer. They do this every day through programs and services, counseling and guidance, activities for children, and it's all free of charge. But for them to be able to continue, they need our continued support. And it's comforting to know that 100% of your contribution to Cancer Services stays right here in the Baton Rouge area. So I urge you to give generously to this amazing group, because when you make a donation to Cancer Services, you truly make a difference.